Week 3 weekly report. I'm a little under the weather, but the show must go on. Mr. Fontanella, I will give you the honors to start off first segment.
Well, it's been a great week. We're ready for Week 3 recap. Let's get it going.
You're safe. We got you. Wait.
I'm on fire!
Okay.
All
right, you're not on fire!
I knew it, you're lying! I'm fire!
Long Island Pickers get another gay win. They win 113 to 94.7. I'm still a Jacobs believer. I did call this win. They score points, and that's the objective in this league, is to score more points than the opponent. They've been able to do that 3 times this year so far. They've gotten nice play out of Zeke, Charles Sims, Mike Wallace has been on a downward spiral. Listen, this was really more of just a Jacobs loss than a Long Island Pickers win. So, not a Pickers fan. Jacobs is going farther than the Pickers long term. Just another fluke win for the Long Island Pick squad.
I mentioned it last week behind camera. TCP has drafted the worst team in the league 2 years straight. 68 points. I think that's a season low out of 3 weeks. TCP is dead after 3 weeks. I refuse to talk about this team. Over to Team Fish, the surprising team so far this year. Team Fish, Vereen injured, but 14.5. Jarvis, 23. He did this without a running back in Matthews. Just Fish is here to stay. I'm looking forward to see what he does in the upcoming weeks.
In 3 weeks.
Yeah, man.
Blake Bortles has been underwhelming. Lamar Miller has been underwhelming. DeMarco continues to get the ball. Alshon has been underwhelming. Will Fuller IV has been underwhelming. Eric Ebron, Randall Cobb, Yawn City. Moving over to Derp Sauce, we have Rodgers and Zach Miller, and that was just about it. He trades for Emmanuel Sanders, and then he plays Tyler Boyd. Sometimes I question how this kid got into college, because clearly he doesn't have basic thinking skills. Kelvin Benjamin puts up a 0, that's a tough break. But why are you sitting Emmanuel Sanders and starting Tyler Boyd? I'm on a bowling team with Tyler Boyd, okay? It's very hard for me to take Derp as a legitimate owner when he plays Tyler Boyd over Emmanuel Sanders. You deserve to lose this week, and you deserve to lose weeks to come if you continue this stupid decision making.
One of the better scorers of this season thus far, Coach Jim. Luck still a little bit shaky, but Tevin Coleman has proven to be an amazing pick. Mike Evans is the best receiver in fantasy. Kyle Rudolph, surprising 16.5. Doug Baldwin off, just another very strong performance from Coach Jim. Twan squad, Flacco was meh. Forte, surprising 7. Just crazily enough, Terrell Pryor carried the team, along with Marvin Jones is 37. Out of nowhere, these guys. Just a tough loss for Twan, but he needs more consistency out of the rest of his lineup.
New England Porches gets on the board with their first victory of the season. Carson Palmer just doesn't have it this year. Latavius Murray, it's only a matter of time before he loses his starting job. D'Angelo Williams, hope you enjoyed that 3-week stint. Allen Robinson finally gets on track. Jordy had a big game. Dennis Pitta had a decent game. Deshaun Jackson with a nice 18 points. Moving over to Mamba, he benches Duke Johnson Jr. Eli Manning put up a decent game. CJ Pitt was very pedestrian. Melvin Gordon is a top 5 back in my opinion. Odell Beckham has yet to get it going. Brandon Cooks throws up an egg on Monday night. Mamba was on suicide watch up until early last night, and he's just getting back on his feet. He hasn't seen daylight in days. He is back on the street, though. Hunter Henry, he believes in Hunter Henry for some reason. Christian Michael had a big game. Moving forward, I think Mamba has a very good team. I think his backs are the most steady in football right now. Proud of New England Porches, who finally gets their first win this season.
I thought this was going to be a classic Camel win. You didn't expect much from him, and the consistency would show. And no, Font curb stomped them. Just top scorer of the week. My God, 20s all over the roster. Hill, Ty, Blunt, McCoy. Just nobody was beating Font this week. And Sam Namath put up a very, very poor performance. Derek Carr was meh. Gore. I mean, when Frank Gore's a leading scorer of your team, that's a problem. Say my name is in trouble after 3 weeks.
Zach put up a very nice performance. His Chiefs defense shined against the poor Jets offense. Deef's Nuts is in trouble. They are in loads of trouble. Todd Gurley finally got it going. Des Bryant got a little something going. Jacob Tamme was terrible. Tyrell Williams was pedestrian. Macklin is so inconsistent. Crowell is so inconsistent. I think this team is searching for some H&S right now, and they can't find it. Moving over to Zach's team, I mean, the defense is clearly won him this week. Devonta put up a huge game. Ingram put up a nice game on Monday night. Decker was very bad, left the game injured. Reed has yet to put up a huge performance. I am waiting for Reed to get it going and living up to his hype. And the defense did the job this week. That's just the truth about it. Mike says he lost because of the defense. It's not true. His team is very, very bad.
Again! Please don't let the invisible fire burn my friends!
Mr. Fontanella would like to introduce a new segment, his own brainchild. I'm clueless as to what it is. Font, go
Well,
ahead.
it's completely original. We've never heard this before. We're going to have a Come On segment, man. Come On, man, move of the week every week. And this can be based off a trade, something somebody said, a transaction, a drop, an ad. It's a little could be a little bit of anything. This week, the inaugural Come On Man of the week is going to be, for this week, it's going to be Dennis Hassett, Derpy Hassett, trading for Emmanuel Sanders and then playing Tyler Boyd. I mean, I ranted about this a little bit beforehand. I don't understand it. What is the thinking behind that, Porch? I'm asking you, what is going through Hassett's mind, if anything?
Derp has a history of making questionable trades. Something we all know.
He has a history of drinking too much.
He was probably drunk when he made this trade. How do you start Tyler Boyd over Emmanuel Sanders? I mean, we have a call from Ben Hoffman. Yes, he will be on the show at some point, but he called it a bad time, it seems.
You know, he didn't...
Or, wait, we could pop him on now. We're live.
I'm not popping him on now.
We're not popping him on now. We'll finish this segment.
We tried to call him and he ignored us, so disrespectful. We're gonna make him wait a little bit, okay? Okay.
Dennis Hassett somehow has 2 rings. I don't get it. He keeps making these bonehead moves. I don't see him doing much. Any final words about Dirt?
Dennis Hassett is a loser. Not a big Hassett fan. Never will be. Never have been.
I don't know who is.
That's all I have to say about that. I feel bad for Virginia Tech. We would like to introduce our guest for this week, MMED's finest, 2-in-1 club, Benjamin Hoffman. Thanks for taking some time out with us. We appreciate it. We're always up for a little bit of a ratings booster, and we could use a little bit this week. So, welcome to the show, Hoff.
Hey, you know what? I appreciate that, boys. It's a great time to make my debut. MMED is on the rise. MMED stock, we're kind of like Twitter stock. Just when we're down, you want to sell us, and here we are, back again, thriving.
First, you gotta buy them. First, you gotta buy before you can sell it.
So you gotta buy, and buy a lot.
All right, well, if you say you guys are on the rise, then you specifically had a few things you'd like to talk about today, huh?
Yeah, there's a couple things. I feel like MMED's always been the villain of the league. Everyone's out to hate us, probably because we say some things, rub some people the wrong way. But so yesterday was a whirlwind of events for our organization. I got none other than Dylan Sports Jacobs on the line. He said he needed a running back, and MMED happens to have 3 top 13 ranked backs this week.
Is that even a category?
I dangled a little Carlos Hyde for him. We were trying to get one of his big 2 receivers. And something came to fruition where we were very close to sending Hyde and Fuller to Team Jacobs for Mr. DeAndre Hopkins. Tough talk with Reed. We decided we didn't want 2 of our best players to be Texans. We thought that running backs were more valuable than receivers. They're scarce. They go down like flies. So why fix what ain't broken? And took some heat from the commish for it, obviously. But this guy's trading for a quarterback with 1 leg and a receiver with no arms.
Woo!
So I don't really know where he is to be talking. That wasn't the record. But at the end of the day, we got a win last week. We're looking to beat Fish tonight. Hope Jarvis dies or gets shot or something tonight. But we'll see.
You hope he's on Jose's boat, huh? Sorry, way too soon. For all our Cuban viewers out there, I'm sorry about that.
All right, Hoff. It's been a pleasure, Hoff.
Wait, you're getting rid of him already? I want to ask Hoff a question.
I was gonna ask him a question too. I wasn't kicking him off. I was gonna ask him a question before he's gone. But if you have something, go for it.
Well, Hoff, I just want to talk about Dylan Jacobs denies there was ever any trade talks about Fuller and Hyde. Now, what do you have to say to an organization who doesn't what do you have to say to an organization like Jacobs who's hiding
behind lies? I say to an organization like Jacobs, let's check the game script.
Wow.
Alrighty. Let's see. Fuller, Hyde, and Ebron is way too much. Let's see. I don't know if you can see. This is all Dylan Jacobs.
Wow.
Dylan up top, as you can see,
God.
he's probably backwards mirror.
Novel.
I'll read the conversation. I said, unless you're thinking Fuller and Hyde. He said, yes, no Ebron. I said, I think we would strongly be interested. Then I said Hyde and Fuller for Julio ? He said Hopkins. I said, right. Again, strongly interested, just waiting on the go from Reed. Dylan Sports Jacobs. Okay, I'll do it when you get the word. If we can see this text, I'll try to show it to you. I don't even know where it is. I'll do it when you get the word. There it is, in plain sight.
So Jacobs is a liar.
So Jacobs is a liar. What else can you expect from the kid?
Wow.
I think he's threatened. He's threatened by us. He knows he made a bad deal. He traded away a stud for, like you said, LeGarrette Blount, who's going to be meaningless once Brady comes back. And Demarius, I mean, MMED knows Demarius, and we know that he's 1 cut away from tearing both knees.
His knees is screaming. I can hear him from Long Island.
Man, I think his knees are made of the same thing that Jose's boat was made of.
Wow!
Oh,
To our Cuban viewers, I once again apologize.
Don't hit the SAT button.
I don't.
Wow.
I think that's the furthest anyone's ever gone on this show, Font.
Now, Porsche, you got a quick question for Hop before we wrap it up?
Final question. We talked about Fish earlier. Do you have any final words about this matchup, about your opponent going into this week?
I mean, Fish didn't even draft his team. I don't know, PJ, RJ, CJ, whatever the hell that kid's name was, did. But Fish had a good team. Then Keenan exploded again. He's starting like Justin Forsett at his RB2. I think he's about 98 years old by now. But the thing that scares me is I got Bortles playing in where the fuck, London, China at 9:30 on Sunday.
Ooh.
So I'm going to be waking up to at least 2 interceptions right off the bat. That's going to be a sour breakfast. But I think we got a good shot. If Jarvis is contained tonight, I think he's the X factor. I think we got a good shot to beat Fish. I don't know, Justin Forsett, like Pierre Garcon, those guys don't scare me. So if MMED can go 3-1, it's a good year.
Absolutely. We thank you, Ben Hoffman. We'd love to have you on the show again. Good luck this week, my friend.
Appreciate it, boys. Keep
Have a
doing
good night,
your thing.
Hoff. To our Cuban viewers again, we apologize.
It's now time to preview the Week 4 matchups. Let's get the graphic down below again. After last week, both Font and I came out 9-5 on the year, both deadlocked. We'll see who comes out on top this week. Bring up the board.
Week 4 matchups, MMED versus Team Fish. I'm going to go Team Fish gets a win. Improving to 3-1, MMED falls to 500. TCP versus Twan Squad. TCP will have a defeated season this year.
Ooh.
TCP won't win a game.
Wow.
And coming from somebody who's been defeated, they got the makings. Don't worry, they got the makings of an 0-13 season. Okay, Twan Squad will improve to 3-1. Derp Sauce, Long Island Pickers. Derp Sauce needs to get a win at some point, and the Long Island Pickers, even though Le'Veon comes back, I think Derp Sauce gets a win. Derp Sauce will not fall to 0-4. Still a very mediocre team. Will gain their first win of the season. Team Jacobs versus the Mamba. Team Jacobs gets back on the winning track, improving to 3-1. Mamba quietly, maybe in the corner in shambles a little bit, falls to 1-3. Say My Nameth versus Deef's Nuts. Say My Nameth will get back on track. Deef's Nuts will fall to 1-3 and will have all of his players traded by Tuesday evening. Moving on to New England Porches versus the Real Young Gun. I like the New England Porches on the road this week against the Real Young Gun. Real Young Gun falls to 1-3. New England Porches back to 500. Porch, what about you?
You know, it's hard to pick against MMED after that thrilling interview.
Electric, as he says.
Hoffman's got a lot of spice. You gotta love the kid. But Team Fish, I've said it before, I believe Team Fish is for real. Team Fish will go to 3-1. TCP versus Twan Squad. TCP is just TCP. Twan Squad will improve to 3-1. Derp Sauce versus Pickers. Pickers are just too good right now. I think it would be a miracle if Derp were to come out on top. The White Mamba versus Team Jacobs. I think in Mamba's mind this is a must-win, and I believe, unlike last week, his team will produce like he truly believes it can. Say My Name within Deef's Nuts. This is the hard one for me. I am going to go with... I guess I'll go with Say My Nameth. Had him last week. Hopefully he doesn't burn me again. And myself versus the Real Young Gun. I've lost D'Angelo. I didn't expect to go 1-2 with him. Hopefully the next guy up can step up, and I will defeat Real Young Gun. And oh my God, who just scored?
Kenny
That's
Stills?
my fucking beef.
Stills. Well then, New England Porches 2-2. When I saw this matchup, it was a no-brainer for Game of the Week. I don't think anyone's been in more primetime games than Michael Fontanella. He takes on the juggernaut that is Coach Jim McElwain, surprisingly enough. Las Vegas must be looking at that 163 he pulled off last week and just going crazy. 10-point favorite! Team Fontanella, do you agree with your 10-point favorite status?
Well, first of all, Michael, what can I say? I'm always seems to be in the bright lights. I'm always wearing my sunglasses, it seems. Always got to wear my sun protection. But the truth of the matter is that it takes a certain type of owner to be in the bright lights often enough. And I'm blessed. I am blessed to have the ownership behind me and the right tools in place, pieces in place to allow me to be in this prestigious game. This week, I am going up against a difficult Coach Jim McElwain. I think Jerick McKinnon is going to put up about 4.7 points. I think Doug Baldwin will get shut down on the Revis Island. I think Andrew Luck, welcome to London, will put up a huge game. But all of his touchdowns go to my receivers T.Y. Hilton and Philip Dorsett. I'd like to say welcome to the team real quick to Mr. DeAndre Hopkins. Thank you very much for the service from LeGarrette Blount and Demaryius Thomas. It's been a pleasure to not have you on my team anymore. There's going to be something missing in that locker room, and I don't know if it's old knees, bad knees, or if it's a drug problem, but we're missing something in that locker room without you two there. So welcome to the team, DeAndre and Philip Dorsett. I will win this week again. I think Cam Newton plays angry against a high-scoring matchup against the Atlanta Falcons. I think T.Y. goes insane. I think Hopkins, finally playing for an organization he's proud to call his own, is going to show him why we traded for him. Kelsey will have another solid game. Cardinals D is my X factor this week. They will put up a huge line against the LA Rams. Porch, what do you see this matchup ending up?
There are 2 3-0 teams as of this moment in Guru Nation. After week 4, there will only be one. Coach Jim will meet his first roadblock in Team Fontanella. I think Team Font just made a solid deal. I think his locker room is firing on all cylinders. Coach Jim, I don't think he's going to be able to fire up his boys this week. Team Fontanella possibly takes his spot at the top of this league.
Heyo.
All right. Now, this may be a surprise to a couple of you because we didn't mention it last week, but power rankings are back. 3 weeks have been completed. We have our top 14 teams of the league. We're about to show them to you. If you have a problem with where you're ranked, I have only 2 things to say. Score big and win. Don't cry about it. Power rankings.
Feel the power!
All right, here we go. First edition of Power Rankings. First, we have 14 to 11, the designated worst teams in the league. Now, the one thing that's going to pop out to me here, Font, I know you're a fan of Mamba's team, but the statistics would disagree.
Am I
Number
a fan?
11.
Am I a fan of Mama's team?
I feel like you are, man. I mean, we got to watch our words. You may be watching.
I'm a fan of Mama's team. I'm a fan of Mamba in general in real life, but I'm not. I don't know. I'm not a fan of his team this year.
Ooh.
I think his backs are nice, but I don't know. There's something about it. It's just not.
All right, well, we have Derp Sauce and TCP at the bottom. No shock there. Deep's Nuts at 13. Man, we'll see. The next tier, number 10 to number 6, the middle of the pack teams at this point. Font, anything stick out to you? Where these guys are ranked?
Well, I think Say My Name-ish will continue to rise in the standings. He's at number 11 right now. I think by the end of the season he'll be top 7. I think Real Young Gun will continue to drop. I think Jacobs will continue to rise. I think Twan will slowly decline. And I think MMED, after that thrilling, ecstatic, electric interview, will continue to drop in the power rankings.
Bold. And now, the elite teams thus far, the top 5. I will say, Team Fish has been the surprising team coming in at number 4, but Coach Jim at number 1, outscoring the Pickers. Coach Jim sits at the top right now. Team Font has something to say about that this week. Font, who stands out?
Well, it's clear who stands out. It's the Long Island Pickers. I mean,
Ugh.
they don't deserve to be here. They've had a few nice weeks. All of a sudden, everybody just thinks they're the top team in the league. I disagree. I think the Long Island Pickers have a long way to go. It includes getting rid of Dom. Coach Jim had a nice start to the season. I believe I should be on top here. I'm very consistently scoring points and wheeling and dealing. We gotta wait. It's a little too early to tell, but moving forward, I think these teams will mostly stay the same. Team Fish will drop, though.
Alright, this week's show is over. We may not talk over power rankings every week, might be a special treat, but I think Good luck to everybody. I think we're gonna have a lot of good games. Final words.
Final word is don't get me sick, first of all. Also, I'd like... Alright, Porch. I'd like to say, Porch is a gamer. I appreciate him coming on this show, even when he's feeling ill. The show must go on. Good luck to all teams. Thanks for Ben Hoffman for coming on to this show, bumping up our ratings just a little bit. And
We'll see. We'll see.
we will see y'all next week. Fuck you, Amador.